What's going on, guys? It's Rage and Dump here, bringing another Arms Warrior guide. Today I'm going to be going over an Arms Warrior's macros, specs, glyphs, opening rotation, and my own keybinds and add-ons. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Alright guys, so the macros I use consist of defensive macros, offensive macros, and focus macros. I don't really use arena 1, 2, and 3 macros, but you can, and I'll show you how to use those. And I use mouseover macros. So I'll show you right now. The first macro I have here is shield wall. Basically, when I press this macro, it changes from my two-hander sword to my one-hander and my shield, and it would bring me to defensive stance, but now since 4.2 hit, you don't need that, and it just and it casts shield wall. So that's that. Yeah, spell reflect. Does the same thing, except it doesn't switch your stances, and it just casts spell reflect with your one-hander and your shield up. And then we have disarm, which this macro, if you press it once, it'll bring you over into your defensive stance, and if you press it again, it'll disarm, and then immediately put you back into battle stance. Or you can change it to what stance you want it to bring you back into. Now, my daily obviously, it cancels your aura of inner rage, so you can cast deadly combat, because you cannot have inner rage, deadly combat at the same time. So that fixes that. I got my focus target equals mouse over macro. So basically, I have my mouse over a target, say this boom cone right here, and I click the button, and now he's my focus target. And you can click anywhere that, if you're not targeting like an NPC or anything, you can click on like the environment, and it'll clear it out. Now guys, another important macro is focus target macros. So right here, let's say I'm targeting this guy, and I'm focusing this guy. So what I want to do is I'm attacking this guy, right, and let's say he's a little bit closer. This guy, oh, fail. This guy's a little bit closer. All I can do is go up to him. I don't even have to look at him, or I don't have to target him, sorry. And then you can just click the button, and it will kick him. But you have to be facing him, obviously. So you don't have to target him. It's just a kick, and you can still keep on DPSing your current target. Also, another macro that's really helpful is having modifiers for your current spells. Like right in here, I have my throwdown. My throwdown macro right here. So basically, when I'm targeting someone, I can just hit that button, I can hit F, and then it'll throw them down. But the modifier that I have in my macro, so you don't have to make like another separate spell, another separate keybind. It has a modifier that's control. So basically, I can hit F on my regular target, but if I have a focus target, I can hit control F, and it will throw down my focus target. Now I have some macros for protection warrior for my prot stance when I'm tanking in a rated battleground. It's really nice to macro in your trinkets. Let's say you have a gladiator's emblem of tenacity. That raises your health by a certain amount. Bladestorm raises your maximum health by 30%. So basically, you want to macro in your tenacity trinket, so it'll increase your health to a certain point, and then Bladestorm will increase it by 30%, so you're getting the most out of both your cooldowns. Also, guys, you want to have Cancelaura Bladestorm macroed into your Pummel, because when you're Bladestorming and you're targeting like a healer, and you're Bladestorming in the area, because see, you're doing threes and a whole bunch of people are around, so you start Bladestorming. Then the healer sees that you're Bladestorming, and they start casting Flash of Light. Now you wanna just hit Pummel, but you can't, because you're in a Bladestorm, so you can't pummel them. But this macro cancels your Bladestorm and lets you pummel your target, so you can interrupt them before they get their heal off. It is very important in Arena, guys, and you pretty much need this macro. Now this is my charge macro. This is not needed, but I love this macro. Okay, so basically the first line of the macro is cancelaura Bladestorm, because when you're Bladestorming, let's say 100 turns away, you don't want to be sitting there Bladestorming and getting shot at by the hunter. You want to cancel that aura if you're Bladestorm, and then you want to, well, I have start attack, I'll explain it later, and you want to cancel that aura, and you want to charge at him. That's what that does. And then if I'm near the hunter or said target in melee range, if I click 1, well, whatever button this macro is keybound to, if I hit that button, it'll cast hamstring on him. And so, also whenever I hit this macro, it'll make sure I have my two-hander equipped to it. Let's say if I have a shield on, a shield and a one-hander on one sword and board, and I click this macro, it'll switch me to my two-hander. It's really nice. I love it, and the equip with your two-hander at the end is not needed, but I find it helpful. Okay, guys, time to start talking about this /startattack in my my macros. Okay, /startattack. Warriors have this little buggy glitch on them where we randomly stop attacking our target. I don't know when Blizzard's gonna fix this, or if they have, I don't know, but I'm almost positive they have not. So basically, to get around that, we have /startattack for most of our main abilities. Like I have an Immortal Strike, Slam, Overpower, Execute, and it's some other macros. But sometimes that doesn't even work. So this can help and it cannot help. But it's iffy, and I really hope that Blizzard fixes this soon. Alright guys, heroic throw macro. This macro allows you to hit your button for heroic throw, but if you click it again, it'll shoot or throw. Well, it depends what you have on. Okay, I have on right now the War Edge, the throwing knife. Basically, I click that, I click my button, and heroic throws. But if I click it again, it'll throw my knife. So I'm getting the most DPS out of what I can. So if you're in a route, you can just hit that, and it's nice because I mean, some damage is better than no damage. Okay guys, intervene macro. Oh my gosh, more warriors need to have this macro. Okay guys, intervene. It's extremely important. If you're not using it in arena, you need to be using it. It can save, it can win your team the game, it can save your healer from a CC. It's so useful. Basically, this is the macro. Sorry about that. You can have the macro so that you target a specific person, or you could just cast this and then target someone, because I don't like to have the target that person in my my macro, because in case I switch arena partners, I don't want to keep changing the macro, or if I want to intervene someone else on my arena team, I don't want the macro to be only one person. So I have it open like that, so I target my teammate and I do my keybind. That's on my macro, and it switches me to defensive stance, and then it casts intervene. Very helpful, guys. You really need this. Alright guys, this is gonna be my last macro that I'm showing you, but they'll all be in the description, but this is the last one I'm gonna talk about. This is for Intimidating Shout. Now Intimidating Shout is really nice, but some people don't use it in the right like ways. This way is so it targets my focus target. Like I can fear, but if I just have Intimidating Shout, it'll fear my current target. But I don't want it to fear my current target. I want it to fear when I get near my focus target, so I know it hits like the healer. So basically I macro this in. So it only casts this when I'm in range of my focus target, and it also stops attack, because I don't want to, in case I'm actually on my focus target, I don't want to break like the fear or whatever, so I have stop attack on it, and that's it. Alright guys, so there are certain talents you should get, and there are certain ones that you shouldn't get, depending on your playstyle. Now the talents that you should have should be 33 in arms, at least 6 in fury, and 0 in prot, like to start out with. And then we can start with the different kinds of talents that would fit your playstyle. Now the first one option we're going to go over is the 1 in Rude Interruption and 1 in Blitz combo. This allows you to really, in my opinion, succeed in two places, which would be in damage and CC. Blitz lets you, one point into it lets you charge someone, and then the nearest target to them also gets the charge stun. So it's nice. It's really nice for say you focus charge a healer and he's right by a mage, and the mage is casting. They're both casting, and you can get a stun on them and interrupt them both. That's very nice. And then root interruption, when you say you get off kick or a regular kick on a target or focus target, you get a 5% damage buff. That is really nice for just a simple kick. So you can go that way, or you can do 2 into Drums of War. Now, Drums of War is really nice. I like it a lot, but it just doesn't fit my play style and my overall CC that I like doing. But it's really nice. It makes it so that your Pummel, Demo Shout, Intimidating Shout, and Challenging Shout are reduced by 100% in rage cost. So no rage cost for all those spells. It's really nice, so if you don't have enough rage straight off the kick, your desperate kick, you get it, because it doesn't cost any rage, so it's really nice. Also, Intimidating Shout is just really annoying. It's really a hassle when you try and get off a fear, a really important fear, and you're just like, bleh, no fear. So Drums of War, very nice. Also, another combo would be the 3 in Insight. Now Insight is good, but with the recent all the nerfs in general that have brought Deadly Calm, Recklessness, the overall nerf to Heroic Strike, it's still good in some cases, but it just depends on what you're doing. Like I like slamming over spamming Heroic Strike, and it depends if it really depends what comp you run sometimes, but to do Insight, a lot of times you have to give up Sweeping Strikes. So you take one out of Sweeping Strikes and you put 3 into Insight, and I'll tell you what, Sweeping Strikes is extremely good. I don't know who you hear it from, but it is extremely good. But you can not give up Sweeping Strikes and do 2 into Insight, but I just don't see why you want to do that, because you could have it in Blitz, Root Interruption, or Drums of War, which in my opinion are a lot better than that. Alright guys, so now we're going to be going over Glyphs. Now I don't want to spend too much time on Glyphs because it's really simple. Basically you automatically want to have Glyph of Overpower, because it increases your damage of Overpower by 2%. Glyph of Moral Strike also increases damage of Moral Strike by 10%. Now the iffy Glyph. Basically, you want Bladestorm if you play long matches. You want Slam Glyph if you play shorter matches. Example, if you play TSG, go into Slam, because you're going to be doing a lot of bursts. You're going to be using Slam a lot, so go with Slam. If you're going to be playing WLS, go with Bladestorm. You're going to be having longer games sometimes, in most cases. You might get a short game every now and then, but the Glyph of Bladestorm will help you out in those. Melee cleaves, guys, you really just want to have Slam for melee cleaves and Bladestorm for anything else. Now the secondary glyphs are also kind of iffy. I like Glyph of Long Charge because I can start off an arena game by not letting my opponent get behind the boxes, by charging them from far away. Also, I like Piercing Howl. You really do need Piercing Howl. I mean, you get the spell, but it just doesn't go that far of a distance. So you don't want to waste it, because I mean it does cost rage, and Drums of War no longer lets you access that spell for free. So you really want the increased radius on it, so you can successfully snare your target from a distance if they're trying to kite you. Also, Sweeping Strikes. Recently to the Recklessness Deadly Calm nerf. I usually do use it for Rexstorm, because I use a lot of rage in Rexstorm, because Bladestorm, Sweeping Strikes, and you have to have Cluster Smash on your target in order to do some damage. It's gonna cost you a lot of rage. So, but since they nerfed that, I like just using the Glyph, so it doesn't cost me any rage. Now instead of the glyph, what I used before was rapid charge, which reduced my cooldown of charge by 1 second, so I could get off a 12-second charge. It's really nice when you're dueling, or if you're getting kited, but I like sweeping strikes a lot better. You can go with whatever you want, but that's just what I use. You can also go with shield wall, which in total reduces damage taken while in a shield wall by 60%, but increases the cooldown of it, which I think it's a really good glyph, but I don't find myself going defensive too many times in a 3s matchup with Kitty Cleave, but sometimes I do. But really, it's if you find yourself getting focused a lot, use that. And also Spell Reflect. It reduces cooldown on Spell Reflect by 5 seconds. And that's nice because they nerfed Spell Reflect, so it was 25 seconds. You can get a 20-second Spell Reflect now. Not as bad, but still kind of bad. Now minor glyphs, you can do whatever you want with them. Me personally, I went with Battle, Command, and Berserker Rage. Simply because I use Commanding Shout, Battle Shout, and Battlegrounds or stuff, and having a long duration on them is nice. But it's not needed because you are using them to get rage now, so you are clicking them a lot. But well, hopefully you're not clicking, but you are using them a lot. But Berserker Rage is nice because it generates an extra 5 rage, but it's really 5 rage. I mean, come on, come on, guys. 5 rage isn't a lot, but it's kind of helpful. You can go with Demo Shout, Enduring Victory, Intimidating Shout. I don't know. I don't like having Intimidating Shout because sometimes you get a nice fear off, and you'll fear a healer all the way across the map, and then you have a DPS all to yourself, and then when he gets finally out of the fear, he has to run all the way back. So that's why I don't glyph into that. But yeah, those are the glyphs, guys. Alright guys, so now I'm going to be going over the arms generic basic rotation that most of you should be doing. If you're not, it's okay, we're going to go over it right now. Okay guys, so I'm going to show you the basic rotation and arms warrior should be doing. I'm going to show you to you guys on a training dummy. The damage will differ on a PvP target, trust me on that. Do not take the damage you see here and be, oh my gosh, I'm going to do that. And also, there's a lot of other factors like, if a PvP target, say like you're going against a druid, if he dodges one of your opening moves, you have to redo that move, or you have to wait on that move. So this opener does differ in a PvP environment. I'm just saying. Okay, now what you want to do is you want to open up with a charge into a hamstring, into another hamstring, hit him with a rend, Colossus Smash, Mortal Strike, Overpower, Heroic Strike, and then Slam. Now if you saw there, I didn't get a slam off for a little bit of time after I overpower Heroic Strike. No, the reason for that was I was under 60 rage when I Heroic Strike. You got to be aware of that. If you don't have enough rage to overpower and Heroic Strike, then don't do it. Because when you don't have enough, when you don't have any rage for your next ability, your DPS is going to go down. So only Heroic Strike if you have enough rage. So now I'm going to be telling you guys why we use that opener and how it uses all the procs that we get during that opener to our full advantage. Okay guys, so my opener you just saw, I started in with a charge. When I started with a charge, that gave me the buff Juggernaut that you get in your talent tree. Now Juggernaut increases my my following Slam or Mortal Strike to have an extra 25% chance to critically hit within 10 seconds of using charge. So basically I'm gonna save that up for my Mortal Strike when I do it later on. So I charge in, I hamstring to keep my target in place. So hamstring first applies the snare, hamstring second applies the root. So I have my target there so I can start up my rotation. Now next, hit rend, so I can get a taste for blood proc. Now this will give me overpower in my rotation. So I hit rend, I get taste for blood. I go ahead and hit Colossus Smash, which reduces my enemy armor by 50%. And then I go ahead and hit Mortal Strike. Now Mortal Strike already has an extra 25% chance to crit, plus my crit chance along with my gear, etc. So it has a pretty good percentage to crit. Now let's just say it crits. When Mortal Strike crits, it gives you the enrage effect. Now once you're enraged, you do about 10% more damage, I believe. So you have 10% more damage, and you also, Mortal Strike also applies a proc called Slaughter, which you get for talenting into Lambs to the Slaughter. So basically, you have 1 stack of that once you hit 1 Mortal Strike. So you do that, Lambs to the Slaughter, the buff Slaughter, increases the damage done by your Overpower and your Slam. So you're going to follow the next attack up with an Overpower because the damage is increased by Slaughter, and also you also want to use that proc as soon as possible for Taste of Blood so you can reproc. And you want to use Heroic Strike along with that, because Overpower is only 5 rage and Heroic Strike is about 30 rage. So it gets rid of a lot of excess rage. And by now you should be able to use Slam, depending on where you're in range of rage. So you use Slam, and you're also taking advantage of your enrage effect throughout this, and you get your Slaughter buff. So you have 1 Slaughter buff, so it increases your Overpower and your Slam damage. Very nice opener. It is really nice. It works best for melee targets, really, because you're going to be in range of them for most of the time, and you're going to be getting most rage from melee targets. So, okay guys, so this is the keybind section of this guide. You don't need to copy my keybinds at all. Use whatever is comfortable for you. Just saying right now, I do use a Razor Naga, so I'm not even going over the ones on my keyboard. You can just see 1 through 6. And those spells, 6 Piercing Howl. R is for Rend. Scroll Wheel up is Heroic Leap. Really nice, guys. C is for Heroic Strike. Z is for Zerker Rage. X is my Kick. Tab is my Overpower. You can, I don't use Tab to target my nearest enemy. You can use any button too. I just like using Tab for Overpower. F for Stun. Shift 1, Disarm. Control R, Focus Fear. Shift Q, Cleave. F1, Victory Rush. F2, Enrage Regen. Shift Scroll Back for Intervene. Shift F for Focus Charge. Scroll Wheel click down is Trinket. Shift E, Recklessness Macro. Shift C, Damage Trinket. Shift down click on Scroll Wheel for Shattering Throw. And TG for my mounts, because I don't know, I don't use them, so might as well just use it for my mouse. And my Razor Naga keybinds. Yeah, I don't really use my main damaging spells on my Razor Naga, because I just like my damaging spells on my keyboard. But yeah, really, I find the placement of my spells on my Naga very comfortable for me. But again, guys, use what's comfortable for you, and just play with what you like. You don't have to like see my set keybinds, keybind your whole thing to that, and try and make yourself use that. You just do whatever feels best to you. Alright guys, so now for the add-ons that I use. I use a few major add-ons, but some of them are really minuscule and you don't really need them. To start off, I use /rl. Basically, I'm really lazy. I don't want to type in /reload. I just want to type in /rl to reload my UI, so I use that. Add-on control panel, it lets me not log out, and I can disable certain add-ons from in-game, and all I have to do is click reload UI, and it reloads it, and it's good. Let's scroll down here. Also, I have Bad Boy. It's a spam blocker and reporter. It says right there, and it's really nice. It's really light. It doesn't make you lag or anything, and it just blocks out like the gold spammers in the in /2. It's really nice. Bug Grabber. I don't want those bugs popping up in the middle of an arena or something. And also Bug Sack. So it puts those bugs in a sack. Right there. Crap Away. Very nice. I don't like having a whole bunch of crap in my bags, like some gray items that I'm not gonna need, so I used to use this, and whenever I go to a vendor, it just, boop, sells it all to them. Good stuff. Debuff filter, oh my gosh, so nice. I actually picked up this macro through Swifty. It's so nice. You can, I put in the spells that I want to, I want to see my target use, like, let's see. I want it to show how long a paladin has on his bubble left. So I type in Divine Shield, and then it'll show in like in a little box how long it has left. It's so nice. Now Gladius, I love Gladius for arenas. It's so nice. It shows what your arena partners are casting. It shows when these are trinkets, when it's going to be up. It also shows DR on your CC. And it's so very nice. I would pick it up if you're into arena, but you don't need it. It's just it's a perk to have. Yeah. Also, loose control. So basically, in your little character portrait of your target, it'll show the CC that is on him. I love it because it really helps me to time my CC correctly, and it's just really nice. I would pick it up if you guys want. Also, Omni CC. It just has a little timer tick down for my cooldowns on my spells, so I can time those right. Postal lets me collect all my mail at once. Easy stuff. Quartz lets me change my focus, my target cast bars. Also mine, but I don't really cast anything, so it's also really nice. And that's it. Yep. No, you see I have a lot of add-ons downloaded. That's just in case I want to use one, I guess. Or I did use all these in the past. I guess I'm just too lazy to uninstall them, but it's okay. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe for more warrior videos. You can check out my channel at youtube.com/platformwarrior and subscribe there for more upcoming warrior content. And I hope to see you guys in the future.